Hello there! We are now at the second video lecture for our topic photosynthesis. So last time we were able to talk about the introduction to photosynthesis, all the things that you have to know before going into this question over here. Now, what are the two parts of photosynthesis? Let us see. Okay, in photosynthesis, there are two major reactions. The first one is light reaction, where there is a production of energy or a conversion of energy from the solar power in the form of photons, which occurs in the form of ATP or adenosine triphosphate and NADPH or nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate. The second reaction is called the Calvin-Benson cycle or carbon reactions. Actually, in some references, this reaction has a lot of names. It can also be called the carbon fixation or the C3 fixation. But what really happens here is that it uses the energy from the previous reaction, the light reaction, to make sugar. Remember that the goal of photosynthesis is for plants to make their own food. Okay, so that's where the food making process occurs in this step. So the energy, the ATP and NADPH from light reaction is used to make sugar like sucrose or starch. Okay, so let's begin with the first reaction. Let us see what happens in light reaction. So light reaction, mainly there are movements of electrons here. Okay, and this occurs in the thylakoid membrane. You remember last time I told you about these green pancake-like structures inside our chloroplast? See? So they are stacked together, and in these small structures, there's the light reaction that's taking place. And the goal here is to convert that light energy to chemical energy, which is a more usable form for plants. And during this reaction, the two possible routes for electron flow is the non-cyclic and the cyclic electron flow. Okay, let's go with non-cyclic electron flow first. I'll course you through this process. Basically, the three bullets represent the three products being made, and it's non-cyclic because the steps don't repeat, and it's just a one-way street to creating the final product. So we have first ATP or our adenosine triphosphate. This is the form of energy in plants, and it is created through the addition of the phosphate group with adenosine diphosphate. So that's why it's called the adenosine triphosphate. And then we have the NADPH. This one over here is an electron carrier. And last but definitely not the least is oxygen, which can also be called as a byproduct for photosynthesis. Note that this is what plants give off, and this is what we're inhaling right now. So take a deep breath. Okay. And oxygen, it actually comes from splitting of water, H2O, not carbon dioxide. Okay, keep that in mind. And how does it happen? What? Splitting water, how does it occur? So this box below shows the products when water is split. Okay, so we see H2O creates these two products. We have one half of an oxygen molecule and we have two hydrogen ions. Okay, so you might be wondering, why do we write oxygen like this? Why is it written as 1 half O2? Where in fact, if we multiply 1 half with 2, we get 1, right? So why don't we just write O there? Why do we have to put O2? Well, that is because oxygen is actually a diatomic molecule. It means that it only exists in nature if it has two molecules. So oxygen will always have this subscript over here. That's why we write it like this, 1 half O2. Okay, so let's get a more visual view of this flow. It looks like this. Okay, don't worry, don't be overwhelmed. I'll explain to you what you're seeing right now. Basically, this band that you're seeing that runs across, this is the thylakoid membrane. Because note, I said earlier that this process occurs in the thylakoid membrane. So there are a lot of photosynthetic apparatuses that are attached to the membrane. You see these purple ones that you can find. We have some photosystems. They have different names, photosystem 2 and 1. We have some electron carriers that has different shapes. And if we look at the arrows here, we can look at how electron flows. So we have different numbers as well. So we can follow the sequence. Okay, so I will explain each procedure to you, okay, just so you can get the idea. So the first thing that happens is light is captured. Okay, the light energy is captured here, and that energy is passed through different pigments until it reaches P680, where in this site, an electron is being uh, raised to a higher energy level. Okay, so that energy enable the electron to become excited. So that electron will go through the reaction center, and as you can see from the arrows, it flows through there. But just look at the third step here. So because that electron moved already, it needs a replacement here now. So that's where water comes in. This is also one of the reasons why water is very important with plants for this step. So you see, water will be used to replace the electron. Okay, so water will be split. We now have 1/2 O2 plus 2 hydrogen ions. This is what I showed you earlier. And this also enabled the replacement of the electron. Okay, and then after that, okay, we go back here. The electron will travel through these different electron carriers until it reaches another photosystem. And here, it will be recharged again through the light energy. So higher energy level again, and it will go through this electron carrier. And lastly, it will be carried by our electron carrier, the second product that we have, NADPH, which is also used to, it is created by the addition of NADP plus a hydrogen ion. Okay. Okay. I want to show you another picture. So this one right here. This is a more zoomed out version of what you saw earlier. So you can see now, you can fully see now our thylakoid. So this is the whole thing. Okay, you can see that there are the apparatuses on the membranes, and there is an interior, and this is the stroma, the space between the chloroplast. Okay. So in this part, you can see our arrows, which I explained earlier. And then I want you to look at this part. So you see, because of the electron traveling through different electron carriers, hydrogen ions were also entering the interior. See? It's coming in. And because of that, there is a buildup of hydrogen ions inside. So now, ATP synthase, which is an enzyme, goes to work. And what it does, well, I hope you already got that from its name, it synthesizes our ATP molecules. And it does that by combining adenosine diphosphate with another phosphate. So now we have ATP. This is our third product. So again, in non-cyclic electron flow, we have the products oxygen, we have NADPH, and we have ATP. Okay, that's it. So the second way, or the second route for light reaction, is called the cyclic electron flow. Now this is cyclic electron flow because there are repeated steps here. It happens the same way. Okay, so I'll show you. And this still occurs in the thylakoid membrane, but note that there is only one product here, ATP only. And there is no production of the NADPH or oxygen. Okay, it looks like this. Okay, see, look that there are, if you compare it to the non-cyclic electron flow, there are some apparatuses that are not used. Okay, so we can see the cycle forming here. And it starts with the photosystem 1, where the light is captured, that energy, and then it raises the electron to a higher energy level. That electron will travel from different electron carriers. Okay, and that cycle repeats again and again. And so basically what happens here, if you look at the bigger picture, hydrogen ions are able to enter our thylakoid interior or the thylakoid lumen. So once again, there's that buildup. ATP synthase goes to work and creates the only product here, ATP. So you see, there's no oxygen and there's no NADPH. Just this. So why? Why is this electron flow here? Basically, because it is like an alternate route. It only happens if there is a short supply of ATP. Okay, that's why it's only this product that's being made. Okay, so that's a clear difference between the two. Okay, so let's wrap it up for light reaction. Again, there are two possible routes. We have the non-cyclic electron flow. Three products are made: oxygen, ATP, and NADPH. And oxygen is the byproduct, ATP is our energy form, and NADPH is an electron carrier. And for cyclic electron flow, it's just ATP. Okay, and I think that's it for the light reaction. If there are parts which are confusing to you, you can go back and rewatch that part of the video. But for the next one, we will talk about the second reaction in photosynthesis. Thank you. Bye.